Welcome back, everyone. This will be my brand new Marvel Daredevil video. There was a bunch of announcements that Marvel just made about Daredevil's storyline in the next couple of series and cameos that he's going to have, as well as Kingpin, so we'll break it all down, because it all starts with She-Hulk and it's carrying through next year in Echo, and then the Daredevil Revival series on Disney Plus the year after that. If you're brand new to the channel, of course I'll be doing videos for all those episodes when they release. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. But the big new announcement is about what the story is going to be for Daredevil when he comes back during the Echo series, what the character is going to be like, and what's going on with the Kingpin during those episodes too, and what story they're carrying forward into the Daredevil Revival series after that. So if it wasn't clear, the Echo series episodes are filming right now. They're going to release next year. During that series, Charlie Cox's Daredevil and Kingpin will be main characters, and supposedly Daredevil is going to be in around 3 of the 6 total episodes, so about half of the series. And during the series, along with whatever the regular main plot is going to be for Echo, they haven't completely revealed that. One of the big subplots is going to be Daredevil trying to find Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones, and there have been rumors that she and Daredevil would both have cameo scenes during the She-Hulk episodes next month, which are coming out really soon. Of course, I'll be doing videos for all those episodes, but that will be long before we see Jessica Jones theoretically during the Echo series. So if Daredevil and Jessica Jones are both appearing in She-Hulk long before that, they might just appear in completely different scenes, or it might just be Daredevil in She-Hulk and Jessica Jones might not come back until Echo. There was also a funny picture that Kristen Ritter took with Mike Colter, having a bit of a reunion between Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. Mike Colter said that was a coincidence, but he was game to come back as Luke Cage anytime. There just haven't been any reports about that happening anytime soon, because he's mostly busy with another series on a completely different network. So I think Kevin Feige wants to bring him back, it's just an availability thing. But also during the Echo episodes, Daredevil is supposed to have his new MCU costume, and it's going to be a version of the red and black one from the comics. He's had at least 6 different costumes in the comics. There was the all-black prototype costume. We saw that at the beginning of the Daredevil series, and again during Daredevil Season 3, just like the regular cloth black one. Then his yellow and black costume from the comics, then his modern red costume that we saw a version of during the Daredevil series, a black and red armored costume that was just used very temporarily, and then the new black and red costume that was used during the Shadowlands saga. This new one will be closer to the all-new, all-different Volume 1 Daredevil costume, the Back in Black costume. Like, that's the name of the title. It's basically what's happening with Daredevil. He is back in black in the MCU now. Everybody queuing up the AC/DC. Iron Man would be proud. And supposedly the reason why he's looking for Jessica Jones in the Echo episodes is to help set up a bigger return for her character during the upcoming Daredevil Revival series on Disney Plus. And that would happen after the Echo episodes. Like, that's why we're going to see Echo episodes. Then the year after that, we'll see the Daredevil Revival episodes. Like, Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones will be a bigger part of the Daredevil Revival series. They shared some scenes together during the Netflix Defenders Marvel series. They both work in the legal field, so it makes sense that they would run into each other fairly often through the court system. Jessica Jones is a private investigator, so she'd be like the person that Daredevil would call to help him gather evidence for cases or get information from informants around the city.
Well, right before he shot himself, he said they were going to take down the city. Obviously, we know now they are the Hand.
Was he one of them?
He said he was one of the good guys.
And you believed him?
I don't read heartbeats, but I do read people.
Even though they're both vigilantes, they do a lot of legwork, a lot of dirty work at night. That's pretty much all Jessica Jones does. Daredevil also has to spend some of his time during the day in the actual courtroom arguing on cases. Recently, there was also a weird report about Disney Plus changing the name of Jessica Jones episodes from Jessica Jones to AKA Jessica Jones, which was the original title of the series when it was initially in development at ABC, way before it ever became a Netflix series. That's also the official title for her comic book too, AKA Jessica Jones, and they use that AKA title as references during the episode titles of the series. But then a little while ago, Disney just came out and said that was actually a bug. Like, the series is meant to say Jessica Jones. It's not meant to be AKA Jessica Jones. It's just like a one-time thing that they're gonna fix. But the big Kingpin announcement is that when he returns during the Echo series, he's gonna be the main villain. As you probably guessed, because of the way they set their relationship up, like, you just got a teaser for that. They didn't really explore that too much because they were saving a lot of that for the Echo episodes. The way they ended his story in Hawkeye was right out of the comics, like, it's literally right off the page here, with Echo trying to kill him by shooting him in the face, but only blinding him in the eye. So when he returns in those new Echo episodes, he's supposed to be wearing an eye patch. How ironic, given his relationship with Daredevil. Like, he'll still have eyesight problems. But also one of the big things during his storyline during Echo, and it'll continue into the Daredevil Revival series episodes, is that during that he'll be running for mayor of New York City. Like Mayor Kingpin was also a recent story arc in the comics. It'll be kind of like that. So what might happen is that he's running for mayor during the Echo series, and then when the Daredevil Revival episodes pick up, he's named mayor during those episodes. In the comics, the whole thing that happened with that was during the Hydra Captain America arc. If you remember that, everybody kind of tried to forget it because that was a very unpopular version of the character. Kingpin winds up helping Doctor Strange in the Heroes save New York City. It was kind of like his Dark Reign Norman Osborn moment at the end of the Secret Invasion. Norman Osborn, a villain, winds up helping defeat the Skrulls invading Earth at the time and takes all the credit for it. He uses all this new authority that the government gives him in power to take over S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers and turns them into the Dark Avengers, replacing the classic Avengers that you all know with villains, like a Thunderbolts version of the Avengers. Just using them to do all kinds of really shady stuff that he wants them to do. Basically using them to push his own personal agenda. During the Mayor Kingpin story arc, it's basically the same situation. He winds up trying to take over New York City, but make it better with his Iron Fist, so to speak, to make another Defenders reference. And everybody's wondering what they're going to do with that Iron Fist character in the future. But like Kingpin wants to make New York City great again, so to speak, because it just went through this big tragedy during the Hydra Captain America arc, but with Kingpin calling all the shots, so obviously it gets super dark. He winds up creating his own version of a Thunderbolts team of villains called the Sinister Syndicate. I know it sounds kind of like the Sinister Six. He uses them to do the same thing that Norman Osborn uses the Dark Avengers for too, just to push his own personal agenda. So it's like Kingpin trying to make New York City better, but doing all these super shady and outright criminal things to do it. During the original Daredevil episodes, especially during Daredevil Season 3, this was a big storyline. Kingpin never became mayor, but he did basically try to take over all the crime families of the city, take over the mob completely, becoming more like the comic book Kingpin, just controlling the city, trying to make it better the way that he thought that it should be better, just making everybody do whatever he wanted them to do. Because at the start of the series, he didn't have control of all the mob families. It wasn't until the end of the series that happened, and he became full comic book Kingpin. They also teased kind of the same situation during the Hawkeye episodes with him controlling the tracksuit mafia. Like, it's after Avengers Endgame, it's after the blip, we just experienced this huge tragedy in the MCU, everyone's still kind of picking up the pieces during the events of the Hawkeye series. And during the Hawkeye episodes, Vincent D'Onofrio said that he was supposed to be playing the same version of the character from the original series. Like, the Hawaiian shirt is right out of the comics, so they wanted him to look a little bit different, just visually, but essentially he was meant to be the same version of the character. And most of what happened during the Daredevil episodes on Netflix are supposed to be canon, but not like every single little thing. Like, most of it was canon, but not completely everything. So like, when all these characters are coming back, they're not meant to be complete reboots of the characters. But the way that Vincent D'Onofrio talked about the character, he made it sound like he'd survived through Avengers Infinity War, he hadn't been snapped, lived through the events of the 5-year time gap. In Avengers Endgame, the blip happens, and all those events had fundamentally changed him, and that's why he was a little bit different at the beginning of the Hawkeye episodes.
Talk about organized crime in the Marvel Universe, and you talk about the seedy underbelly of New York City, there is one primary character that comes to mind.
He said, I want to bring you into the MCU, and I'm not going to say no to that. Like, that's pretty awesome. I really love playing this character. I liked creating him, you know, from the art of guys like David Mack. Fisk is really driven by emotion. You know, he's like a child and a monster, both at the same time. So it got very intense yesterday, and it got a little bit intense today, too.
I know when all the Daredevil characters come back, Kingpin comes back, there's going to be lots of questions about continuity, like what's canon, what's not canon anymore. Like I said, most of it is supposed to be canon, but not every single little thing. There were a whole bunch of Kingpin deleted scenes during the Hawkeye episodes. I've already done videos on that, so I'll link those below in the description so you can watch. I'm not expecting to see an Echo trailer with Daredevil or Kingpin, those characters, till like the very end of this year or maybe early next year. I don't know how many episodes Daredevil is supposed to be in during She-Hulk. It might just be a small cameo scene, like a really quick thing, or he might be in a couple episodes. We'll find out pretty soon. We're getting ready to finish the Miss Marvel episode, so we're probably going to get a She-Hulk trailer really soon. I've already done a much bigger video for the last She-Hulk trailer, so I'll post that link in the description below so you can learn about that, because it's taking place in Los Angeles on the other coast of the United States. If you have any questions about what's going on during the new Daredevil episodes or Daredevil cameo scenes and all the upcoming series and all the big crossovers they have planned, just write those below in the comments and I'll try to address them in my future bonus videos. Thor: Love and Thunder is also out this week. I just posted my review video for the movie, so I'll link that at the end of this. In my post-credit scene video, full Easter eggs breakdown video for the movie will start posting after it actually comes out in theaters. Everyone click here for my full Thor Love and Thunder review video and Easter eggs, and click here for my brand new Loki Season 2 first look video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.